If you think sharks are the most terrifying predators in the ocean, think again before you take another dive. It might be better to learn about some of the more alarming creatures lurking in the depths, from the one that shines like a deadly emerald to the super spicy crab named after a curry. Here are the 15 most dangerous crustaceans in the world. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now let's get started. Number 15. The emerald crab. First on our list of lethal crabs is the emerald crab. Despite its charming name and striking green color, this crustacean is filled with potent toxins found in the warm waters of the Caribbean. The emerald crab, scientifically known as Mithrax sculptus, spends its days eating algae and scavenging the ocean floor. Its vibrant and alien-like color might attract you, but don't be tempted to experiment with this creature. Like other members of our notorious gang of deadly crabs, it carries a lethal mix of neurotoxins. However, if you can resist the temptation to try one, keeping an emerald crab in your aquarium could be like having a built-in garbage collector. Just a suggestion. Number 14. The curry puff crab. Does the name curry puff crab sound like something you'd order at a restaurant? Think twice. The curry puff crab, or Platyodia granulosa, resembles the floral crab and shares some of its dangerous traits. This crab is another member of Singapore's Deadly Crustaceans Club. It gets its name from its resemblance to a curry pastry, but that's where the similarity ends. Although its brown shell is not poisonous, the crab itself is highly toxic. Camouflage experts. These crabs disguise themselves so well that if you have allergies, it might be better to avoid them entirely. Touching one can be risky, so it's best not to confuse this crab with the dish it's named after. Your chances of survival are high as long as you don't accidentally bite it thinking it's a snack. Number 13. The serrated edge spooner crab. The name serrated edge spooner crab sends confusing signals, but there's no mistaking its level of threat. The idea of spooning, hugging, with this crab might seem strange, but let's set that aside and focus on what really makes it dangerous. This fearsome crustacean lives in coral reefs across Asia, including Singapore, the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and extends to waters near Papua New Guinea and New Caledonia. Although it's not a large crab, measuring only 15 centimeters, its spiny and irregular appearance gives it a threatening look. The serrated edge part of its name refers to the rows of teeth along its legs and claws. Stepping on one of those teeth would probably lead to a painful experience, but the real danger lies in its toxic interior. One of the biggest risks is that the serrated edge spooner crab can be mistaken for more edible species in the deadly world of toxic marine creatures disguised as harmless seafood. This confusion can be fatal. Stay alert, especially near these spiny crustaceans. If they don't cut you with their sharp edges, their toxic organs might do the job. A warning label wouldn't be too much for these creatures. Number 12. Mud crabs. Mud crabs, also known as Sela carata, are commonly found in mangroves, swamps, creeks, and estuaries in Australia, Asia, and Africa. They are popular among both fishermen and food enthusiasts, but catching them is not without risk. Venturing through mudflats and mangroves, full of crabs and possibly other hidden dangers such as crocodiles, can be quite hazardous. These crabs usually hide just below the muddy surface, making them almost invisible to untrained eyes. This, combined with the murky or shallow waters, makes locating them a challenge. When threatened, the large claws of a mud crab, equipped with sharp pincers like blades, can cause serious damage to an unsuspecting ankle. If a mud crab grabs you, it may not easily let go. Its powerful claws can even continue to grip after the crab has detached the claw to escape. Luckily for the crab, it can grow a new claw, leaving its attacker with pain and an unwanted crab claw accessory. Ouch! Number 11. Mosaico reef crab. As we go deeper into this list, the dangers intensify. Now, meet the Mosaico reef crab, one of the most venomous inhabitants of the oceans, considered the most toxic crustacean in Singapore. This may surprise you, as we don't commonly associate crabs with fatal toxins, let alone multiple species found exclusively in Singapore. However, the reality is that this small creature lives in various regions, from coral reefs to coastal areas in Singapore, China, Indonesia, Japan, Thailand, Australia, Vietnam, and French Polynesia. This crab is a natural work of art, with its vibrant coloration blending an intense orange hue with white spots that form an unmistakable mosaic pattern on its shell. Despite its fascinating appearance, it is relatively small, measuring between 8 and 10 centimeters in length, and has short claws, which at first glance might make you think it is harmless. However, what truly makes this crab a terrifying creature is the deadly venom it carries. Don't be fooled by its appearance or size. It's the venom that makes this animal one of the most dangerous on the planet. The real threat that the mosaico reef crab poses is not in its strength or the power of its claws, which are small compared to other crabs, nor is it in its piercing stare, as if trying to intimidate its predators. What really makes this crab so dangerous is its venom, one of the most potent in the animal kingdom. In fact, it is one of the most toxic crab species ever identified, and it's extremely wise for any human to keep a safe distance from this creature. Several fatal cases have been directly linked to encounters with this crab, and the reason for this is the high toxicity of the neurotoxins it contains. These substances are so powerful that cooking the crab cannot neutralize the venom it possesses. This means that even when prepared for culinary purposes, the venom can still pose a fatal risk. The most astonishing part is that this crab's venom appears to come directly from its diet, which mainly consists of toxic sea cucumbers, a dish that, although completely tasteless to humans, is essential for producing its deadly toxins. For us, this food is undoubtedly poisonous and cannot be consumed, but for the mosaico reef crab, it is vital, providing the necessary chemical for its defense. Although encounters with this crab may seem unlikely, the reality is that the risk is always present in regions where it lives, and the mere possibility of an accident with this creature can be fatal. The beauty it displays in its colors and shell pattern only serves to conceal the real danger it represents. Therefore, if you're in one of these areas, it's crucial to stay away from this animal, as it is undoubtedly one of the deadliest and most fascinating creatures that nature can produce. Number 10. American lobster. The American lobster is much more than just a sophisticated seafood dish, it's a true marvel of nature. You've likely encountered these imposing crustaceans on a luxury restaurant menu, served with a refined touch, cooked to perfection, and dipped in a generous amount of melted butter, accompanied by a slice of lemon for that special flavor. But beyond its refined taste, there is a fascinating world behind the biology and peculiarities of this creature that make it even more impressive. The first characteristic that catches your attention is the lobster's peculiar appearance, which at first glance may seem strange, but is merely a reflection of a unique evolutionary adaptation. Like other crustaceans, the American lobster has a rigid exoskeleton, meaning its skeleton is located externally, which forces it to periodically shed its shell in order to continue growing. This process is known as molting, and it's common among many crustaceans. However, the most impressive feature comes now. The American lobster has the ability to regenerate lost limbs with remarkable skill. If one of its claws breaks or gets injured, it can grow a new one over time, a rare and fascinating phenomenon that sets it apart from other animals. Furthermore, this creature displays an even more surprising biological trait: its teeth, but not in the way you might imagine. Unlike human teeth or those of other animals, the lobster's teeth aren't located in its mouth, but inside its stomach. This stomach, by the way, is located near its mouth, creating a unique and somewhat unusual setup. These internal teeth play an essential role in the digestion process, helping to crush food before it is more efficiently processed by the lobster's digestive system. This adaptation, which might seem bizarre at first glance, is just one of the many peculiarities that make the American lobster one of the most fascinating creatures in the marine world. While it is considered a sophisticated dish and a true delicacy in the finest restaurants, the lobster is much more than a luxury meal. It is an impressive example of the incredible diversity and complexity of the animal kingdom. The American lobster is not just an exotic dish served at an elegant meal, but a true masterpiece of evolution, with biological features that challenge common understanding and showcase the wonders of our planet. Number 9. Floral egg crab. A beautiful yet dangerous creature, often referred to as the floral egg crab, caped crab, or by its scientific name Attagardus foetus. This small mud crab is typically found in Southeast Asia and extends to Australia. With its smooth shell and attractive markings, this little crustacean may seem harmless, but don't be fooled by its charming appearance. It hides a deadly secret. If you've heard of the pufferfish, you'll know that these seemingly harmless fish are incredibly lethal due to their tetrodotoxin, which is 1,200 times times more toxic than cyanide. So, what does this have to do with our beautiful crab? The same deadly tetrodotoxin is found in the crab's legs. Eating this crab can be fatal, which is why it ranks number 9 on our list. Consider this a warning. Just as you should never eat pufferfish or lick a toxic toad, you should definitely avoid biting into the legs of a floral egg crab. Number 8. Japanese spider crab giants of the deep. The size of these crustaceans is enough to strike fear. Japanese spider crabs hold the title of the largest crabs in the world, with legs that can reach up to 3.8 meters in length and a body that can weigh nearly 20 kilograms, making them big enough to overshadow a human child. But before you panic too much, let's understand the reality of these underwater giants. It wouldn't be fair to judge them just by their imposing appearance. These crabs are masters of camouflage, living at depths of 150 to 200 meters, where they use materials from their surroundings to blend in and avoid predators. This camouflage ability may explain their impressive longevity, which can exceed 100 years, with some living even longer. Despite their massive size, Japanese spider crabs are more likely to be hunted by octopuses or rays than pose a threat themselves. They are scavengers by nature, feeding on animal and plant remains they find at the bottom of the ocean. Although there are many myths about these crabs, the truth is that they rarely harm humans unless you're already dead at the bottom of the sea. These legends may have earned them a fearsome reputation, but in reality, they are just doing their part to clean up the ocean. So perhaps it's time to stop judging these gentle giants and appreciate their role in the marine ecosystem. Number 7. Remipede. The remipede is a small blind crustacean that looks like a swimming centipede, primarily found in the dark underwater caves of Central America and Mexico. This tiny creature has developed a particularly horrific method for capturing and consuming its prey. If you're eating right now, you might want to take a pause, as this is not for the faint-hearted. The remipede uses its fangs to inject its prey with a deadly mixture of enzymes and neurotoxins. These poisons first paralyze the victim and then liquefy their intestines, turning them into a digestible substance that the remipede then sucks up, leaving behind only the empty shell or remaining fish pieces. As disgusting as this may sound, one must admire the remipede's evolutionary adaptation. Its venom allows it to capture and consume prey efficiently, despite its blindness and lack of physical strength. However, there's no need to worry too much. These creatures are quite rare, and scientists who study them must conduct dangerous and complex expeditions to find them in deep underwater caves. So, you won't be encountering a remipede sipping on a shrimp smoothie at your local swimming spot anytime soon. Number 6. Mutant claw. The pistol shrimp has a claw that sometimes grows up to half the size of its body. This gigantic claw is the source of the shrimp's incredible power. When it's ready to attack, the shrimp opens a small chamber at the tip of its massive claw, allowing water to enter. With powerful pressure, the shrimp forces the water out with immense force, creating high-speed bubbles. These bubbles may seem harmless, but they are actually lethal, capable of paralyzing or even killing the shrimp's prey. When the bubbles burst, they produce a loud snap, almost like a gunshot. One species, humorously named Cenius pink floydii, can generate bubbles that reach 210 decibels, which is deafening. To put it into perspective, a real gunshot reaches about 140 to 175 decibels. That's a considerable noise for such a small creature. The pistol shrimp's abilities are so impressive that they inspired a superpower in the action movie Project Power on Netflix. Jamie Foxx's character has a power inspired by this shrimp, allowing him to destroy bullets and obliterate enemies with a powerful pulse. So, being called a shrimp might actually be a compliment after all. Number 5. Crawfish, the cloned army. Crawfish, also known by names like crayfish, crawdads, or mudbugs, might seem harmless, even tasty, and certainly not something that would keep you up at night, unless, of course, you eat a bad one. While most crawfish are pretty harmless, there's one species that could easily be the star of a low-budget sci-fi movie about an army of 10-legged mutants taking over the world. But this is no fiction. There's a species of crawfish that has been doing just that, spreading like wildfire around the globe. The marbled crayfish was accidentally created in an aquarium in 1995, and since then, it has become a global threat. This species represents a serious danger to native crawfish and ecosystems. In just a few decades, the marbled crayfish has spread through Europe and Africa. What makes this particularly alarming is its ability to clone itself. Being entirely female, this species reproduces by cloning, making it practically unstoppable. It's like something out of a horror movie, but it's entirely real. Sleep well and try not to dream of crawfish taking over the world. Number 4. Chinese mitten crab. Furry but formidable, the Chinese mitten crab with its fuzzy claws might seem a bit comical, as if it's wearing tiny mittens, but don't be fooled by its appearance. These crabs are far from harmless, and their place on the list of the world's most dangerous crustaceans is more than deserved. Originally from China and neighboring regions of Japan and Korea, these fuzzy-clawed invaders have spread worldwide, either by deliberate introduction or by hitching a ride in ballast water. But what makes them a problem? To start with, they tend to gather in large groups and burrow into riverbanks, causing significant damage. Their extensive digging has even led to dam breaches. As if that wasn't bad enough, the Chinese mitten crab often carries the oriental lungworm, a parasite that can infect humans who eat undercooked crab. The worm then hatches and settles in the lungs, a truly terrifying prospect. So while those claws may seem funny, the dangers they carry are anything but funny. Number 3. Brown crab. The largest crustacean in Europe, the brown crab, scientifically known as Cancer pagurus, roams the seafloor around the British Isles, keeping beachgoers on alert. This intimidating crustacean holds the title of the largest crab species in Europe, typically reaching about 20 centimeters in width. However, some of these crabs can grow up to an impressive 30 centimeters and weigh up to 9 pounds, about the size of a newborn baby. With 8 legs and 2 immensely powerful claws, the brown crab's pincers can crush with 4 times the strength of a human hand, delivering a crushing power of 90 pounds per square inch. If one of these grabs your ankle, it's going to hurt a lot. These crafty crabs hide under seaweed or near rocks, waiting to ambush unsuspecting marine creatures, including other crabs. Cannibalistic and always hungry, the brown crab isn't picky about what it eats, eagerly devouring dead marine life and shellfish. Also known as the edible crab, this species is a human delicacy, maybe that's why it puts up such a fight. But the brown crab is more than just a formidable predator, it plays a vital role in the marine ecosystem. As a scavenger, it helps clean the ocean floor by consuming dead organisms, which in turn recycles nutrients back into the ecosystem. This natural cleanup service is crucial for maintaining the health of the marine environment, preventing the buildup of organic material that could otherwise cause ecological imbalances. Besides its ecological importance, the brown crab is a key species in the fishing industry, especially in the UK and Northern Europe. It's one of the most commercially valuable species, with thousands of tons caught each year. The sweet, delicate meat of the brown crab is highly prized and is a staple in many seafood dishes, from crab cakes to bisques. Brown crab fishing supports local economies, especially in coastal communities where it is a significant source of employment. Sustainable fishing practices are crucial to ensure this valuable resource remains abundant, as overfishing could threaten its population. Brown crabs also exhibit fascinating reproductive behavior. Females can carry up to 2 million eggs beneath their abdomen, which are released into the water. When hatched, the larvae are planktonic, drifting in ocean currents for several weeks before settling on the seafloor and growing into juvenile crabs. This high reproductive rate is one reason why the species remains resilient despite being heavily fished. Interestingly, brown crabs are known to migrate. They can travel significant distances along the seabed, moving between feeding and breeding grounds. Some populations undertake seasonal migrations that cover several kilometers. These migrations often align with changes in water temperature and food availability, demonstrating the crab's adaptability to its environment. Despite their rugged appearance and powerful claws, brown crabs have their own predators. Large fish, octopuses, and even other crabs can prey on them, especially during molting, when they shed their old exoskeleton and are left soft and vulnerable for a short time. Number 2. Mantis shrimp. The word shrimp might make you think of a harmless creature, but the mantis shrimp is a completely different story. Also known as stomatopods, these crustaceans are anything but shy. In fact, the mantis shrimp is sometimes nicknamed the thumb splitter. And for good reason. Handle one, and you might end up with more than just a sting. These colorful creatures can grow between 10 and 20 centimeters in length and live for 3 to 6 years. Found in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, they thrive in coral reefs where food is abundant. Mantis shrimp have a diet that includes fish, other shrimp, and crabs. What sets them apart are their violent and terrifying hunting techniques. With over 400 species, mantis shrimp are classified as either smashers or spearers. Smashers use a club-like appendage called a dactyl club to strike their prey at speeds up to 80 km/h, comparable to a bullet fired from a gun. Spearers, on the other hand, have sharp, spiny appendages used to stab their prey. turning their meal into a literal kebab. Mantis shrimp possess incredible strength, allowing them to take on prey much larger than themselves. Let's hope they never take an interest in humans. But the mantis shrimp isn't just about brute force. It also has one of the most advanced visual systems in the animal kingdom. Each of its eyes can move independently and contains up to 16 types of color-sensitive cones, compared to only 3 in human eyes. This allows the mantis shrimp to see an extraordinary range of colors, including ultraviolet light, which is invisible to us. Their eyes can also detect polarized light, a rare ability in the animal world. This advanced vision is crucial for hunting, allowing the shrimp to spot the slightest movement of prey and even communicate with other mantis shrimp through color changes. The mantis shrimp strike is so powerful it creates cavitation bubbles in the water, a phenomenon where the rapid movement of the club causes temporary vaporization, forming a bubble. When that bubble collapses, it generates a secondary shock wave that can stun or kill prey, even if the initial blow misses. This double strike strategy makes the mantis shrimp one of the most efficient predators in the ocean. Beyond their formidable hunting abilities, mantis shrimp are also known for their intelligence. They are one of the few invertebrates known to engage in complex social interactions. They can recognize and remember individual neighbors, participate in ritualized fights, and even use their powerful claws to signal potential mates or rivals. Some species are monogamous, forming long-term bonds and sharing a burrow, even raising offspring together, which is quite rare among crustaceans. Mantis shrimp are incredibly tough too. Their dactyl clubs are made of a highly specialized material that can withstand repeated impacts without breaking. Scientists are studying this material to inspire the development of ultra-tough armor and protective equipment. Despite their aggressive nature and fearsome weapons, mantis shrimp play a crucial role in the marine ecosystem. They help control populations of various prey species and contribute to coral reef health by keeping certain species in check. So, while they may be terrifying up close, they're essential to the balance of their underwater world. Number 1. Coconut crabs, the giants of the islands. If you ever find yourself on a remote island in the Asia-Pacific region and come across a giant crab that looks eager to greet you, be cautious. The coconut crab, also known as the palm thief, has claws that can exert a crushing force 10 times stronger than a human hand. In fact, these creatures have the most powerful pincers of any crustacean on Earth. With this immense strength, a coconut crab can lift up to 28 kilograms, the weight of a small child. That's why children and pets should definitely keep their distance from this giant. Their claws are strong enough to crack open coconuts, so your delicate fingers don't stand a chance. But there's no need to worry too much. Their massive size makes them hard to miss. Weighing around 4 kilograms and measuring up to 40 centimeters in body length with legs that can stretch to nearly a meter, the coconut crab is not going to hide in your beach gear. But there's more to these incredible creatures than just strength. Coconut crabs are actually the largest terrestrial arthropods in the world. Their size and power are not their only impressive traits. They are also highly skilled climbers. These crabs can climb trees up to 10 meters tall, using their powerful legs to grip the bark as they ascend. They do this to reach their favorite food, coconuts. Once at the top, they use their formidable claws to cut the coconut free, letting it fall to the ground where they can crack it open and feast. Coconut crabs are primarily nocturnal, meaning they do most of their foraging at night. During the day, they prefer to hide in burrows or crevices to avoid predators. Despite their size, they are surprisingly evasive and will often retreat quickly if they sense danger. However, their intimidating appearance and size can be quite the fright for anyone encountering them after dark. These crabs have a varied diet, feeding on fruits, nuts, seeds, and even small animals. In some cases, they have been known to scavenge carcasses, and there are reports of coconut crabs hunting birds. Their rich and diverse diet contributes to their large size and formidable strength. Interestingly, coconut crabs have a long lifespan, with some living up to 60 years. Their ability to regenerate lost limbs over time adds to their resilience, making them one of the toughest creatures in the animal kingdom. However, they are vulnerable during the molting process when they shed their old exoskeleton to grow a new one. During this time, they often retreat into their burrows for protection, as they are soft and more susceptible to predators. While coconut crabs are generally solitary creatures, they engage in brief social interactions, especially during mating season. After mating, the female coconut crab will deposit her eggs into the ocean, where they hatch into larvae. These larvae drift at sea for several weeks before finally settling on land, undergoing metamorphosis and becoming juvenile crabs. Despite their intimidating look and behavior, coconut crabs are a vital part of the ecosystem in the regions they inhabit. They help keep the environment clean by feeding on dead animals and organic debris. This nature's janitor role is crucial to maintaining the health of their habitats, making them an essential, if slightly frightening, part of island life. Are crabs your greatest fear of all time? Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting content that's popping up on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time!